destination.
Good morning. Okay, let me go back. Okay, good morning. I'm presenting some reflections on a series of research I made during the last years on events management. The setting of this research has been Milan, which is the second largest city in Italy, what we can call the financial capital of our state, very famous for its financial and business activity. It's the second European exhibition center in terms of capacity, a very important place where to run business activity. The city has gone through a very deep repositioning process from the tourism standpoint. Before the new millennium, it was perceived as a very gray and business destination, a place where you go just if you have to run business, like exhibitions, especially that means business events, big business events, mainly international ones, and or conferences. Again, which are a specific kind of business events. Today, a lot of things have changed, and Milan has a totally different perception. It is a vibrant destination. It is on the map, even in terms of leisure tourism. That's why it is the second Italian destination in terms of overnights, which is a remarkable result. And it has a rich events calendar that goes from business events to leisure ones. This has been possible because of an interesting repositioning process that has been put in place, even thanks to a big effort put in working on the events calendar of the city. And this effort allowed the city to host mega events like Expo in 2015 and a future mega event like the Winter Olympics, which we are preparing for 2026. And in the meanwhile, a lot of things happened in terms of governance by means of the setting up of a regional destination management organization, and later on, in more recent times, a local DMO for the city and the surroundings. And this more recent DMO worked a lot on the city event calendar. And the calendar has been very, very rich. And it, oh, sorry, I skipped a chart. Okay. And it goes from, where is it? Oh, give me a chance. Okay. And the calendar includes both big events and small ones. When I say big events, I'm thinking at the top of the GETS pyramid. That means mega events and hallmark events, international ones like the Olympics, like the Expo, like the Fashion Week, like the Design Weeks, events that made Milan famous in the world from the media coverage perspective and from the capability to attract big tourism flows. And those events are very well studied in the literature, while the bottom part of the pyramid has been considered less interesting by the academic world. The debate on minor events is less interesting than the debate on big ones. While I think that it is worthy of investigation. That's why leveraging on some recent literature, I focus my attention on them. How? by looking at the Milan's portfolio of minor events and trying to see the impact of those less studied events on the destination. I looked at both leisure minor events and business ones, okay? If we talk about leisure minor events, Milan is a very interesting setting since it has developed a specific portfolio of weeks and cities. Weekend cities are two specific formats. Cities work last 4 days, especially the weekend and the close days. They are thematic events, for example, focusing on leisure themes like piano city or book city. So they are very focused on specific cultural themes. And then while weeks are longer, of course, they embrace a week or a bit more than 7 days, and they are thematic as well. We have, for example, the art week, we have the museum, the mountain week, we have the football week, the music week. So again, thematic events focusing on a specific theme. And the one of the specific elements of these thematic minor events are that they are designed by the DMO and the local institution in terms of framework, but the contents are provided by private players. Yeah, like companies, like associations. So they have been platforms to establish a permanent collaboration between private and public bodies. A second interesting feature of those minor events is that they are not, they do not take place in a specific place, but they are scattered. Okay, they spread out through the entire destination. For example, this is a book city. 260 places in Milan have been included into this minor event, hosting book presentations, debates, meetings with the author, books review, okay? So they have a very specific format. And I measured the impact of them on the destination in terms of occupancy, in terms of ADR, and in terms of RevPAR. And results are interesting because we can say that they are helpful in terms of capability to attract high potential flows of visitors, okay? They support participation and inclusion. They are interesting drivers to boost the offer dedicated to specific segments of high value tourists. That means cultural tourists. They can really stimulate collaboration between public and private actors. And last but not least, they are helpful in reshaping the urban space, in moving toward a more sustainable way for both residents and visitors to experience the city. That means do not produce overcrowded tourism in the central areas, but spreading the flows even in some other minor destination places that maybe in the future will become worthy of a tour, like the more iconic attractions that are typical of mass tourism. But even business minor events could be worthy of investigation. For example, if we look at the exhibition portfolio of the city, we can position trade fairs according to their capability to generate occupancy and their capability to increase prices. Those are the two drivers in terms of impact on the destination. And we can see that exhibitions are not all the same. In particular, some big exhibitions, for example, those that are able to attract 1 million, 2 million visitors in the city, like the so-called Artigiano in Fiera, that means Mancraft exhibition that takes place every December into the city. It lasts 8 days. It's a very big moment in terms of capability to attract visitors, 2 million. It does not impact on the destination. Why? Because they are local, or the majority of them are domestic. That means people that come to the destination with their backpack, with their sandwiches. They do not leave money into the destination. They do not impact. They do not generate an economic effect. While some other minor exhibitions, maybe B2B ones, are really impactful, since they leverage, they can change the value of the destination performance in terms of both occupancy and or ADR. So what we can bring home, like takeaways from these explorative research, is that sometimes small is better than big, because some minor events could be as impactful as big ones into the destination, especially those that are connected somehow to the vocation of the city, those that become a stable appointment. That means that could be measured in terms of medium-long period effect and not just in the short one. So the very lesson that we can learn is that events have to be managed as part of a broader strategy, long-term broader strategy that put together big and small initiatives into a coherent and systemic portfolio. Thank you for your attention, and I will be here for any questions.